In the community, we have some information inshallah today, and I'm joined here by the people mashallah who've been doing the work behind this. First off, I want to recognize Saad Sukira mashallah, the one who had the original idea and he came up with it, and the reality is he's done 4 times the work that any of us have. A lot of time has gone into planning this, as well as Numan and Mufti Asif, may Allah reward them for the time they've put in. So EID Carnival St. Louis, you've probably seen it. What is it about? What's the purpose? What's the vision? You'll hear inshallah a little bit from everyone. So the basic thing that I'll just share before I pass it on is the vision of what is happening here, right? We all understand that Eid is supposed to be the time where it's actually sunnah to celebrate, right? It's the day that we wear our best clothing. It's the day that we increase in spending on our family and all of these things. And the hadith are so many that show the Prophet ﷺ emphasizing that this is our day of celebration, right? And so the idea is that there are scattered celebrations here and there. Every masjid may have it on the weekend after, usually just for logistical purposes. And usually it's smaller people, or it really hasn't even been happening since COVID. And so people end up going elsewhere. They have, especially those with younger kids, they have to take their kids somewhere. It's Eid, and it's important to take your kids because you want your kids to be proud of their identity and not feel like when Christmas comes or when other holidays come and kids at school are talking about their presents and having fun, but kids, they treat their Eid as their special day. They remember that my Eid was fun, my Eid was unique, and so that spirit of celebrating has to be there, right? Second part is to build bridges with other masajid, right? So as we'll see in the presentation, alhamdulillah, we've been reaching out to other masjids to make this a community thing, right? It's not about one masjid. We want to have all of the masjids on board and involved. The third thing is that it's to make it a type of da'wah. We have different forms of da'wah. This is one of them in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said, and he saw the Abyssinians with their spears playing on the day of Eid, and he said, play because show the Yahud of Medina, the Jews of Medina, because they were obviously vehemently against the Muslims, أَنَّ فِي دِينِنَا فُسْحَةً, right? That we enjoy in our way too, in our environment too. But then the last point, it's a halal environment of fun, right? So we want to maintain that halal environment. As we'll see with the carnival rides, we've worked with them to remove inappropriate images, to remove music, those types of things, to make it where people have halal food, and there's a process for that, things of that sort. So it's a halal environment for children to come, and then the adults can, obviously, they'll be eating and watching their children. And then the last point I want to mention is obviously a question that comes to many of our minds. A lot of what's going on in the Muslim Ummah, especially when we look at Gaza, all right, it's very, very painful to see and hear that. And what about Eid during that time? And even though our hearts hurt and it's a difficult time, but we still celebrate the Eid, even though we may not celebrate other things, but the Eid is the one thing we hold on to because it's sunnah to do so, while continuing to make dua for them. But one of the things we put in the vision of this event is that, look, people go out after Eid. If you ask the average family, where did you go? They take out their kids, right? And they go to different places. And a lot of money is spent of the Muslim community to other businesses. What if that money was spent to support Muslim businesses? And then secondly, what we decided is that every dollar that is profited from this event goes towards relief in Gaza. So what if we use that money, instead of throwing it outside on big corporations, it's gone to waste, what if we used it in a way where actually we generate some money, and the same eating, the same few rides that you're going to take your children to go to somewhere else, you bring them here, and inshallah, we support it in that way, right? And so you'll hear, inshallah, what exactly has happened, how did this come about, and a little bit about what is planned so far, inshallah. And so I'll hand it to Noman, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So I'll be brief. I won't be too long, and the crux of what you will want to hear about will be from Brother Saad. So I just wanted to say that, he was the brainchild of this whole operation. Actually, if many of you attended the Sheikh Omar Suleiman event that we had a couple thousand people show up that evening. And what was really nice to see that evening was so many people that we normally don't see, so many different ethnicities, so many different backgrounds, and so many different Muslims in the St. Louis area that attended that evening. And so what was neat was that afterwards, a lot of us that helped kind of put that event together, Saad had just kind of reached out saying, hey, it would be really neat if we could do a collective Eid celebration. And so as you know, this year Eid, inshallah, is expected to be either on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I believe. So we thought that, okay, how about the first weekend of Eid, which would be April 13 and 14, so that's Saturday, Sunday. Let's try to do some sort of like carnival or some sort of festival for the entire community. And then from there, we thought, how about we do it at some park? Like, what would be a good park that we could do this at? And immediately we thought of Brother Rashid Kazmi at Mideast, has a really good relationship with the mayor of Manchester. So we said, hey, how about we reach out to him to see if we can set up a meeting with the mayor of Manchester? And so we did that, and we reached out to them with the idea, and to our surprise, pleasantly, they were actually very excited about this. They immediately, actually, let me just tell you it this way. I told the different Masjids when we met with them. It was a Friday afternoon when the mayor actually messaged saying if we could have the meeting the following week. And then, we had a back and forth, and then he emailed me on a Saturday. First of all, as a government employee, I can tell you that's usually unusual for a government worker to email someone on a Saturday, but I mean, that just shows you how excited they were. And it was when we had that ice storm, so he said, how about instead of meeting in person, let's meet on Zoom that Monday. So we did that, and what was really neat was that how supportive they were, how excited they were to have this event happen at Schroeder Park. They've had various carnivals. If you've seen Baldwin Days or Manchester has Homecoming, which again Saad will expand on. So they're used to these big carnivals and events a couple times a year. And so we basically told them, look, we want to kind of replicate exactly what you do at that event, except we want to do it for our Eid. And again, they were 100% behind it, fully supportive. They sent us a lot of the resources, contact information. This and this person is who you need to contact. This is what you need to keep in mind to make this successful, security, all that stuff. They kind of really helped with the logistics and what we need to think about. So that's kind of what all went into this. The last point I wanted to address about what makes this so different than our prior open houses or prior carnivals or festivals that we've had, because again, we've had a carnival here at our Masjid parking lot before. The thing and of course, all of those things went really well. Those were all amazing events. But this is something we want to actually take to the next level. When I was joking with my wife, I was saying this, I want this to kind of be like a legacy event. And what I mean by that is that I want us to have such a big, grand event this first time, where it automatically then, each year on Eid, it becomes a part of Manchester's routine. That they then have it on their calendar that on Eid, the Muslims will be hosting a festival or a carnival at their park every year. And the main reason for that, and I'll end with this, is that we really want our children in the community, like Sheikh Hamza just mentioned, to really celebrate Eid like even better than people do Christmas or other holidays, to really identify with that, to have pride for Eid, right? I mean, to really own it and feel excited about it and not feel that they're left out. And we really think that something like this, again, you'll see the slides that are coming up. This is going to be, inshallah, something that's going to be pretty grand and magnificent. And the only way it's going to be successful is if each and every single one of you attend, tell your friends to attend, tell your family members to attend, and have your children, inshallah, join us again on April 13 and 14. Jazakumullah khair.
Do you want to talk about the Masjid partners? Sure. Okay, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. So just kind of reiterating, we've this the whole thing with the Eid Carnival, from comparison to the festivals or open houses, is this is for the entire St. Louis community, right? Actually, almost, I don't want to say the entire state of Missouri, but we also have like Springfield, Columbia, we have Belleville, Illinois. Their communities are also already messaging us that they want to be a part of it. I already have messages from certain people that they already booked hotels for that weekend, that they're going to come bring their kids to this event. So a lot of the logos you see, these are the masjids that's already are participating with us. They've said they're in and they're working with us to do this, and we have more coming soon as we're inviting everyone. So kind of give you guys a walkthrough of what all is going to be at the carnival. So when I mean amusement park rides, if any of the kids over here have gone to Manchester Homecoming or Baldwin Days, like the Ferris wheel, the big, the rides where you actually have to like check your height if you can go on there. So we have a wide variety where every age group will have something to do over there. We have carnival style games. We've worked with the ride company to make sure that they're all halal, they meet our codes. We have about 15 plus halal food vendors, and the unique thing is they're all from, majority of are from different styles, different ethnicities, different countries. We have 3 food vendors that I'm not gonna say right now, but I'll mention it later, is they are specifically for that day buying meat from Mideast to do for that thing, and this could lead to a potential, where they realize the importance of having halal food at these restaurants. We're gonna have a retail bazaar, petting zoo, face painting, balloon animals. We're gonna have a dunk tank where you might see, hopefully, Sheikh Hamza and Mufti Asif, you guys should egg them on to sit on the dunk tank, and then a lot of the community leaders. We're gonna have a photo shoot booth, so you guys in your Eid clothes come over there, take family photos, right? So a big question that everyone's asking us is, how much is this gonna cost you guys as the attendees? So the actual event is all free. You guys can come over there. The rides and food, they have their own pricing. So the rides, what we're gonna be doing is there's mostly the best deal that you guys could take is there's a wristband. So for $25, it's all ride day pass, as many rides, as long as you stand in the line and you get your turn, you can ride it. And then we'll still have individual pricing if you're only there for a few hours, but I think that's the best deal we can. And then every food vendor will have their own prices, but we're working with them to make it as least as possible. And then this is like one picture of the recent event one of the amusement park company did. It's a little blurry, but you guys can kind of imagine that we're gonna have about 10 of these at the event, along with the other things I just mentioned. So this, I'm just gonna do very quickly, because a lot of people in the community are reaching out, so it's good that everyone's informed. So we have, this event is definitely costing us in the 6 figures. So these prices is just to recoup that cost, and if, like Sheikh Hamza mentioned, if there's any profit, it's gonna go to the aid of Gaza and Palestine. So these are just vendors for food and retail prices, and then for businesses, we have separate sponsorship packages. So I know we'll announce these to the communities as the days continue. So what do we need from you guys? The biggest thing, this event can only be successful if you guys show up, if you guys invite all your family and friends. This year, instead of I know a lot of families, including myself, sometimes go out of town to spend with families in other states. This year, invite them to come to you guys that, hey, my city is doing this grand event where, multiple masjids are coming together and doing a citywide carnival. Right? Invite your neighbors, invite your coworkers. This is such a big dawah opportunity. The best type of dawah opportunity is just to be yourself, right? So we just want to show, and it's a public park. So we're just trying to show the community, this is our holiday and this is how we celebrate it. One thing to mention, and I want to say it right now, and we're going to be saying it, you guys are going to be seeing announcements. There will be no parking at the actual park because we're going to be using the entire space for all the things that I just mentioned. So what we're gonna do is off of Hannah Road, there's 2 schools, Parkway South and Hannah Woods. So what we're recommending everyone to do is to drop off your family at the park, and then the person driving can go to the schools, and then we'll have a shuttle system continuously throughout the days. We're also going to be having our own dedicated WhatsApp community because there's multiple announcements that are going to happen regarding the event, the map of the event, the vendors, who's coming. So tonight, I believe we're going to have a link sent out. So please join that and encourage everyone else to join, because that'll be specifically only Eid Carnival related announcements. And then, as just a general thing, this is our first time we're doing such a big event. We have to represent, we have to show, minimize food waste, bring your own water bottles, we need to take care of the environment. So all these things, we just gotta, do our best. And then, and then I'll give it to Mufti Asif for closing remarks.
So just one thing before Mufti Asif does closing remarks, I just want to go back to the slide and show the different masjids. So some of you might wonder, why aren't the other masjids there? You can see, mashallah, Dar al-Jalal is on board, Al-Manara is on board, Dar al-Iman in St. Charles is on board, the Bazdin Islamic Center in Lemme Ferry is on board. We wanted to reach out and have the Bazdin community join as well as Medina Masjid of Imam Hasich, they're also on board, and others are coming soon. And the other masjids that you don't see, it's just because we haven't gotten their confirmation to reach us. Some of them we've reached out to. But if you are a representative of another masjid or know them well, just speak to one of us, inshallah. And we want to make it all the masjids possible in St. Louis. So you can reach out to one of us, inshallah, and try to get that included. And then, inshallah, we're going to have Mufti Asif for some final.
Jazakallahu khairan. Everything was said, alhamdulillah, by these three. Jazakallahu khair. They've been working extremely hard. Something like this, just coming up with a plan, it's easy to talk and say, hey, how about an idea of doing something like this? But to implement it, it takes hours and hours, meetings after organization and permits and this and that. It takes a lot, and there's still a lot to be done. So, inshallah, we will have a lot of updates coming up. But when it comes to inviting, we hope you invite all your friends and family. But one other thing that we also highly suggest and recommend to show the community that, look, Muslims are a fabric of this community and we're a part of this community, is that invite your neighbors, invite your co-workers, non-Muslim neighbors, non-Muslim co-workers. Have them see the Muslims, have them see what Eid is all about, have them see Muslims together and see that, look, we're as normal as everyone else is, especially with everything going on in the world. This is a wonderful opportunity to show the non-Muslims. This is why it's important for us as Muslims to be on good behavior over there, to show that we as Muslims, we act with akhlaq, with etiquette, and to keep everything clean and to leave it in a better shape than when we first came and when we started the event. So this will show a lot to the community, and we hope, inshallah, in future years that we will be able to do this. And secondly, as was mentioned, that we will be raising funds, inshallah, for Gaza. We will actually have some booths as well where people can donate for Gaza, and there'll also be awareness. There'll be Palestinian cultural awareness booths as well. It will show the culture of Palestine, and people will be able to witness that as well. So we have a lot planned, inshallah, and we just hope that you are excited for this event. We wanted to bring this up now before Ramadan so that you can mark it down on your calendars, spread the word. Please join us, please cooperate with us, inshallah, and make dua that everything turns out to be a success for all of us, inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan. Oh yeah, inshallah. Jazakallahu khair. So now we can end now, alhamdulillah. We've gone extremely late, but refreshments are downstairs waiting for you. So please go on downstairs for the cafe. Jazakallahu khairan.